Number 1. A man decided to camp at Spirit Camp, tucked deep in the Canadian Rockies. The place carries a heavy history. It was once a ceremonial burial ground for a local indigenous band. But over time, the band stopped returning. Too many strange things had happened there. Disturbed graves, voices drifting through the forest at night, and sightings no one could explain. Even the elders eventually avoided it. The man wanted to see for himself. He stayed for 4 days and nights, keeping watch with his camera running the entire time. For the first couple of days, everything felt normal. The wilderness was calm, only broken by the occasional animal wandering near his camp. But once darkness fell, that peace shifted. On one of the nights, an eerie sound broke the silence. It was deep, almost like a roar, followed by a rhythmic knocking against the trees. Whatever it was, it didn't sound like anything that should be roaming the Canadian Rockies. Some believe he may have caught proof of something far beyond the ordinary, possibly even Bigfoot. Others think it could have been a wild animal. The truth remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. Whatever he recorded out there was unsettling enough to make anyone think twice about camping alone in Spirit Camp. Number 2. The next unsettling clip comes from a channel called High Gear, which usually showcases off-road motorcycling and motocross rides. Their content often features adrenaline-packed enduro trails through forests, rocky quarries, and rough terrain. But this particular video captured something far more disturbing than an ordinary ride. It was the 26th of June, 2019. A biker was cruising through an open field near the woods, enjoying the freedom of the trail, when the calm atmosphere suddenly shifted.
Who is this guy?
Out of nowhere, a man stormed out of the trees, clearly furious. Without hesitation, he lashed out at the bike, kicking it mid-ride and sending the rider crashing to the ground. The fall left the biker stunned and scrambling to recover, while the stranger kept shouting at him. Fortunately, the camera was still recording, showing just how fast a peaceful ride turned into a dangerous confrontation. In the end, the rider managed to get away before things escalated further. But the incident is a sharp reminder of how quickly the outdoors can turn unpredictable and how you never truly know who you might cross paths with. Number 3. On the 10th of January, 2016, what began as a quiet fishing trip along the Kanagawa River in Fuefuki City, Japan, nearly turned into tragedy. A man had set out to spend the day by the water, but before long, he noticed strange markings on the trees. At first, he assumed wild boars were to blame, since they're common in the area. But the real danger revealed itself moments later. A massive bear suddenly charged out of the forest, forcing him into a desperate fight for survival. He tried everything, shouting, making himself look larger, and backing away as quickly as he could. In the scramble, he slipped on the rocks and went down. For a moment, it seemed like the end. Then, against all odds, the bear pulled back, but it wasn't over. The animal came at him again, faster and more aggressive than before. With nothing left but sheer will, the man screamed with every ounce of energy he had. This time the bear retreated into the woods for good. Shaken and exhausted, he was left with the sobering realization of just how close he came to death. One wrong move, and that day could have ended very differently. Number 4. Western Nowhere isn't the kind of channel that goes after cheap scares or flashy stunts. Instead, it focuses on the stark reality of exploring true wilderness, the silence, the isolation, and the strange beauty found in places most people never see. In this video, Oliver sets out alone on a trek above 10,000 feet, searching for the remains of an ancient hunting camp. The hike began quietly enough, with nothing but tall trees and rough terrain around him. But the deeper he went, the more unsettling it became.
I mean, if that thing fell on your head, it would more than ruin your day. My hope is that I get out of this forest without having anything like that happen. I don't know if you could hear that, but this forest seems to be crumbling all around me. More than half of the trees are dead, and I keep thinking I'm hearing knocking or like an axe, someone splitting wood. And it's knocking behind me and knocking ahead of me. So it's almost like, where do you go where it's safe?
The first sign was faint knocking, distant at first, then repeating, as though following him. The sound resembled the rhythm of chopping wood, but it never stayed in one place. Soon, other noises joined in a strange, almost musical wailing, drifting through the forest. At first, Oliver tried to explain it away as wind or animals, but the patterns were too deliberate. The noises moved with him, surrounding him, yet always out of reach.
What is that singing sound? It's like coming in front of me and behind me. Is that the wind blowing through the trees? Oh, it's like 4 or 5 people wailing. Tell me you hear that. I hope my mic is picking that up.
Combined with the dead trees, unstable ground, and constant sense of being watched, the entire forest felt like it was resisting his presence.
I kind of believe in the supernatural, but I'm trying to get the goosebumps to go away. I'm not terrified, I'm just creeped out. See, right there is a strong wind gust, and that's when it should coincide, but I didn't hear it. And I've sat through a few wind gusts, and I don't hear it anymore. At all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, at all wind speeds. I don't know if the mic picked that up, but I could see why people believe in Bigfoot. There's some weird sounds out here. I don't believe it's Bigfoot. I'm just trying to get to the mystery of it.
Eventually, he reached the ruins he had been searching for, stone structures built long ago by people who had chosen survival in this unforgiving landscape. Scattered near the stones were signs of more recent life, animal remains, and a crude snare, proof that the wilderness was still very much alive. Although his trip was cut short when his dog brushed against poison oak, Oliver accomplished his goal. He had found the ancient camp. Still, the real mystery lingered in the sounds that followed him. The knocking, the wailing, and the eerie way they seemed to move through the trees. Were they just wind and wildlife? Or could they have been something older, tied to the ruins and the land itself? Out in these forgotten places, sometimes the most disturbing encounters aren't the things you see but the things you hear. Number 5. In 2014, 3 Russian construction workers were taking a break on a small island with their dog when something unexpected happened. A bear cub wandered into their camp. At first, it seemed harmless. The dog played with the cub while the men laughed and even decided to record the unusual moment. But what they didn't realize was the danger right in front of them. A bear cub almost never shows up alone.
Hello? Конечно, по-моему, мы победим сейчас. Сейчас она ему поймает.
Moments later, the mother bear emerged. The men froze, caught in a tense standoff as the animal sized them up. For a second, it seemed like things might end without violence. But when their dog stepped toward the cub, the balance shifted. To the mother bear, that was enough to mark the humans and their dog as a threat. She charged without hesitation. The recording ended abruptly, and what followed was grim. Search crews arrived the next day and discovered a horrifying scene. The remains of the 3 men were barely recognizable. Their dog hadn't survived either, leaving behind only patches of fur. The damage was so severe that investigators had to rely on dental records to identify the victims. The bears were never tracked down. The tragedy left behind one undeniable lesson. If you ever come across a bear cub in the wild, leave immediately. The mother is always nearby, and once she feels her young is threatened, there's no chance of outrunning or overpowering her. These 3 men, sadly, never had a chance. Number 6. This next encounter comes from Ranga Trips, a channel known for extreme minimalist camping and survival in unforgiving environments. On the 17th of July, 2025, the explorer ventured to a remote island just as a violent storm began to close in. Dark clouds gathered overhead, the wind picked up, and he quickly worked to secure a tarp shelter with a bivy bag ready as backup.
This one's in pink. Hold up, Tom. Hold up, please. I don't want to have to spin the knife. Where's the bivy bag? I'm gonna have the bivy bag ready and extra help, right, please. That's Eerie. Where the hell is the bivy day? Oh, there she is. Oh, Lord. One-web spider. You got the bivy bag, got the raincoat. If this top fails, you just gotta slog it out in the bivy. Woo! Right now we just need this top to hold up, that wind to stay down, and hopefully it's gonna handle this.
As night fell, the storm struck in full force. Torrential rain pounded the camp while powerful winds ripped at the shelter. Lightning cracked across the sky, thunder echoed through the island, and the air was thick with danger. Even insects and spiders were blown into the tent by the relentless gusts, making an already tense situation even more overwhelming.
Hold up top. The wind. Oh my God. The wind is like bringing it in through the step. Hold up.
Storm raged on through the night, leaving little chance for rest. Every moment demanded full alertness, as one wrong move or a single lightning strike could have turned survival into tragedy.
Hold up. It's actually good to check like if this thing leaks or not. That should produce that side. I was checking the weather radars, all kinds of asking ChatGPT like when is the storm gonna hit? And I'm telling you, in this part of the world, it's old school, bro. You just gotta look up at the sky and go, oh, there's a crazy cloud. It's time to hunker down. Coffee in a can.
Somehow by morning, he made it through, soaked, exhausted, but alive. This wasn't a paranormal scare or a human threat, but in many ways, it was just as terrifying.
So on the island, the last thing you think about is money. Yeah, now that I'm going to the real world, it's like, oh yeah, you know, where's my keys? I need money, food. Whereas when you got all that storm action and lightning, it's like, that's like the last thing on your mind.
Absolutely surrounded, yeah. Can be quite draining because you've just been on like full alert, hardly any sleep, constant rain, lightning, everything's out to get you. It's a coin toss whether it's like better to come to these places and just stay in your air-conditioned hotel. But what's the point in that actually? I mean, you only get one shot at this life.
It showed how unpredictable and merciless nature can be, and how small you really are when the wilderness decides to test you. Number 7. The channel La Patrona Extreme Adventures is known for pushing limits, exploring dangerous and mysterious places. But one of their most disturbing videos came from a trek into a part of La Montaña de la Muerte, the mountain of death that few dare to enter. Locals have long spoken of strange sounds, missing livestock, and the presence of a powerful creature called paton, described as massive and almost never seen, but always sensed. From the start, the force felt wrong. The silence was heavy, pressing in on the team as they moved deeper along the narrow trails. Early on, they spotted deep, claw-like gouges carved into tree trunks, markings that looked deliberate, as if something strong had raked across the bark.
Nos encontramos una vez más en esta área donde siempre hemos mirado mucho patón. Vamos a empezar a caminar, vamos a ir. Esta vez vamos a caminar hacia el sur. Es un lugar donde pocas veces hemos ido, pero es donde siempre se escuchan todos esos gritos de patones.
Hemos llegado, sí hemos ido, pero hemos llegado nada más como hasta la mitad. Ahora queremos avanzar un poco más.
Sí. Sí, nos llama mucho la atención de que siempre como que nos hacen para ese lado los patones. Esta montaña tiene mucho patón. Estamos sorprendidos con todo lo que hemos mirado. Vamos al prero.
Then came the bones. At first, the group thought they had stumbled across animal remains, but the sheer size of the bones told a different story.
Tania.
Está muy inclinado aquí.
Mira, Tania. Aquí hay unos huesos, pero está más grande. Mira.
Ay.
Chequea.
Ay, no, qué. ¿Hacia un venado?
No, está muy grande. Mira este aquí. Hay muchos ya, Tania. Mira, ahí está otro. Este nomás, mira.
¿Dónde?
Y acá está otro.
No, aquí está.
Ese aquí, mira.
Un venado.
No, está muy grande, mira. Allá está otro. Esos son muy grandes. Esos son un animal más grande.
Oye, eso
Mira,
parece de aquí,
Tania.
de aquí de la cadera.
¿Serán
Ese
humanos?
hueso.
Rib cages were snapped apart, twisted unnaturally, and what looked like pelvic bones were half buried beneath the leaves. The most chilling discovery was a human skull lying in the dirt. Its condition suggested it hadn't been there for decades. It was relatively fresh, likely belonging to someone young. The team didn't dare touch anything. Instead, they marked the location to alert authorities later. But the deeper they searched, the worse it became.
Son de humano. Sí, son de humano.
José,
No hay que tocar nada. No toquen nada. Vamos a tener que hablar a la policía. Mira. Tania. Vamos a ver si ya los habían mirado.
son los primeros.
Y seguimos caminando para allá. Seguimos caminando para allá. Vamos a encontrar más. Sí. Mira, acá está otro, Tania. Acá está otro, mira.
Fíjate, es que esto a mí se me hace.
Tania.
Wow.
Mira.
No se acomoda esta cámara.
Acá están los dientes, mira.
Creo que es de hace muy poco este.
Sí, lo devoró un patón, mira. Ahí están los dientes.
More fragments appeared, ribs, legs, and scattered pieces across the forest floor. Whether this was the work of scavengers or something more sinister was impossible to tell. Adding to the dread was the forest itself, unnaturally still, except for the occasional rustling that always stopped the moment they turned to look. Eventually, the decision was made to turn back.
¿Sabes qué? Vamos a tener que hablar a la policía. Agarra la locación. Agarra la locación y hablamos. ¿Qué fue eso?
Vamos para allá. No dejo de pensar, José. Ya le tomé foto.
This wasn't just another eerie place or unexplained sound. This was possibly a crime scene, and remaining deep in the mountain of death with no quick way out carried real danger. As they retraced their steps, the feeling of being watched only intensified. Later, the team admitted that they've faced plenty of unsettling moments in their explorations, but finding what they believed were human remains was unlike anything else. Some mysteries are worth chasing, they said, but there are times when the wisest choice is to step aside and let professionals take over. Number 8. The channel SGI Maverick usually sticks to fishing trips, camping, and laid-back vlogs. On May 28, 2019, what started as a normal afternoon of fishing turned into an argument with an older couple who stormed over, claiming the teens were trespassing on private HOA property. The boys pushed back, insisting they'd already checked county records and that the water they were on was public.
Howdy.
Huh? You're not supposed to be fishing here. This is private property.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
See that?
It's HOA.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Come here, I got something to show you.
I don't care what you've got to show us. It's HOA.
You, John?
No, I'm not.
John's your neighbor.
To you yet?
John's your neighbor. All right, you see this? See that piece of land? That's that right there.
Yes.
Guess who owns it? Gwinnett County.
That's right, but it's our HOA.
No, it's not.
This is our
it's
HOA
not.
lake.
It's not private.
$300
Let me
a
tell you
month.
something.
It's not private.
I deal with the county all of the time.
Yeah, okay. My dad, yeah, cool.
That is a private
It's not actually.
plot of land.
I
Why
have.
do you think they have do not trespass?
Well, I don't see that.
Because
You
there
don't
is-
look-
I got grandparents that live here.
Because you came up through there. We're getting new signs to put up there.
Oh, are you?
because people are coming.
Well, this is public. It's not HOA.
No,
The lot down there. Yo, no.
HOA
No,
here.
it's not.
I'll
Yes,
tell you what,
it
I'll
is.
have the police explain it to you.
Or you can. I'll show them
Be
this.
kind enough to tell me your name.
I'm not gonna tell you my name. Why would I do that?
Why? You're not breaking the law.
Okay, but I don't want some like freaking dude. I don't want some like two people telling me. No, I don't want you knowing my name. What, you like this?
Huh?
It's Gwinnett County. This is Gwinnett County property. Down there, Gwinnett County property.
It is private.
No, it's not. That's private. Down there's private. That other lot down there's private.
Stay right
All
here for
this
another
is
30
right here.
minutes. Stay right here for another 30 minutes, and I'll have somebody explain it to you.
The exchange quickly got heated. The couple argued the HOA paid dues to maintain the lake, while the teens kept pointing at maps and property documents showing Gwinnett County listed as the landowner. At one point, the man threatened to call the police, while the kids refused to give their names, saying they weren't breaking the law. It went in circles, the couple repeating private property, the boys repeating public land.
That's why
It is Gwinnett County property.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, this is HOA.
Oh
No,
my God.
they don't.
Yes, they do.
They live on this lake and we pay $300 a year.
I live on Lake Altoona and I still fish there. Everyone can fish there.
Yeah, it's
Because this is a private lake owned by the HOA.
Hey.
You come down here and I'll show you.
Alright, well the sign's all there. You can see.
I know, we're getting 2 more signs because the one got taken down from there.
On jaw, say?
Pardon me?
On jaw?
On jaw.
On jaw? All right, well, we're getting the cops called on us we're getting the cops called on us for fishing. We're fishing in a lake and we're taking fish and putting them back in. That's the most illegal thing.
Yeah, it's
We'll see.
facing away from us. That is. Why would I?
You think we're gonna come down here and just like take a little peek at those?
No, we're going to get 2 more signs. One put up there, one over.
So HOA owns this forest? I didn't know that. Wow. That's a big lot of land. Yeah, but it's funny though. You see this? That lot of land is right there. That land is right here. You look by your name, Gwinnett County.
Huh?
No, I'm fine. My leg's a little tired.
Oh, come on. A young person like you and your...
Dude, I'm a swimmer, man. You know, I have a meet on Thursday. I can, you know.
Both sides dug in, and nobody was backing down. After half an hour of standoff, with no cops ever showing up, the group decided to pack up and leave.
To disturb you. Just let me in on that, and we'll leave.
I don't understand what's wrong.
Like, so is throwing plastic on plastic line on a graphite hook or graphite rod disturbing you? Is it bugging you? Am I touching you?
I'm going to answer your question.
No, I want you to answer that now. I want that to be the first thing.
Answer it now.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it wrong to steal?
We're not stealing.
What does that mean to you? If somebody steals from me,
Well, what are we stealing? What are we stealing?
are you doing what's right?
Oh, what?
You're breaking the law. This is private property. Do not trespass.
I would like proof. Not HOA. So Gwinnett County does not own this neighborhood. Gwinnett County owns no neighborhood. Therefore, if Gwinnett County owns this lot, there is.
Let me tell you where
It's public.
Wait, do you own those woods?
you're on private property right
You
now.
haven't, dude. You're not listening.
Listen to me.
You're not listening to anything I'm saying.
See this detention?
I do. You know what's funny?
Here,
He doesn't. Who lives there? Do you live there?
here,
Which house do you live in?
I live in the.
So the thing is, you see, okay, that was wrong with him. He shouldn't have been there.
know,
I told him not to. But right here is okay to fish. And you see that dock? I actually checked the real estate stuff for that, the lot. And the thing is, whoever lives here, that's not his dock, because that is not his property.
That's not the White House right there. That's his dock. That's not.
No, I'm talking about the dock right here. It's actually like it's actually part of Gwinnett County. It's not part of this. You like
You gotta know whose property you're on.
Would you like to you want to throw a few casts out?
What'd you say?
You want to throw a few of these out, see if you can catch anything?
No.
You want to say hi to YouTube?
I don't care who you're.
No,
what you're doing.
that's fine. No.
All I want you to do is
You should be going out
recognize that you're
inside playing.
trespassing.
You know, we're kids. We're freaking outside. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you my age, but I'm a teenager.
And I'm a teenager.
We're both teenagers. You know, you should be happy we're not inside playing video games. We're outside doing something active.
I'm very happy you're not.
Thank
doing
you.
that.
God bless-
I'm
God bless
happy
you.
that you're on private property.
Well, so but what are we doing to disturb anybody?
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
What are you doing on private property when it says no trespassing?
We don't see
Well, we didn't see that. And the guy who lives in one of these 3 houses.
That house is the only house
That's one?
that belongs to
This one?
HOA.
Okay.
This one does not.
Looking back, the whole thing could have gone differently if the couple had just walked up calmly and explained their side. Instead, their aggressive approach made the teens want to push back and prove a point. It's a reminder, if you're fishing, camping, or hiking near neighborhoods, it pays to keep receipts, maps, permits, screenshots, anything that shows you're allowed to be there. That way, if someone confronts you, you know exactly where you stand. Josh, the creator behind Camping with Josh, is known for peaceful solo trips, quiet nights under the stars, a tarp strung between trees, the crackle of a fire. But on the 5th of September, 2024, during what should have been a routine camp in one of England's oldest forests, that calm turned into one of the most unnerving experiences of his life. The day began normally. Mist clung to the canopy, rain drifted through the branches, and Josh hiked until he found a clearing.
View of this open green park that's got a nice log to sit on and some nice mushrooms, fungi. It's quite nice around here, nice and light. Feels like it would be quite a nice light spot in the evening. Pretty good option actually. It's really wet. It's really wet. I'm gonna have to just string my tarp up, don't think too much about it, and get a fire on already, get some wood, because a lot of this is saturated. It's been raining for the last few days.
Set up his tarp, gathered wood, and prepared for a wet but manageable night. Then the mood shifted. The air grew heavy. The forest went strangely still. It started with rustling beyond the trees, too sharp and deliberate to be rain or wind. Josh searched but found nothing. Still, the sense of being watched clung to him. As evening drew in, the unease deepened. Footsteps echoed faintly through the woods. Slow, heavy, intentional. He stepped out with his flashlight, scanning the fog. No figures, no tracks, nothing except silence.
Literally sat over there, trimming the wood down, cutting it down how I like it. And I can just hear some mad movement going on in those bushes over there. I can't tell if it's like the rainfall just making quite a commotion, or there's maybe rabbits or deers maybe walking through, or any dog walkers or whatever, I don't know. Bit spooky.
Even the birds had stopped singing, as if the entire forest was holding its breath. That silence weighed on him more than the sound itself.
They echo faintly through the trees, measured and patient, as if something, or someone, is walking with purpose. Josh grabs his flashlight and heads out again, this time with a gnawing unease. The excitement is gone. In its place, dread.
I find it really difficult. Do you know what I mean? You heard that. And it's really quiet. There should be birds singing. There was birds singing, and I just noticed they've just stopped singing. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't they be singing? I'm finding it really difficult to focus. Lovely little spot. Lovely food to be cooked. A night under stars.
By dusk, his instincts were screaming. Something was out there. Maybe human, maybe animal. But whatever it wasn't leaving.
I heard some really heavy movements in the bushes, and I'm pretty sure I saw something in the bushes as well. And as I was standing still, there was this movement there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to leave my tarp here in the woods. My bag is already packed. I'm just going to grab what I can grab and come back here in the morning. And maybe just do a bit more talking with you there. So I think it's important to be real with you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna pack up. I guess I could take this tarp away, but I just don't really want to.
Josh made the call. He packed what he could, left his tarp behind, and headed out fast, keeping his eyes on the tree line the entire way. When he finally broke free of the woods, the rain still fell, the fog still hung low, but the pressure lifted. He was safe, or at least safer. To this day, he doesn't know what followed him in that forest. But here's the truth. In the wild, survival isn't always about bravery. Sometimes it's about listening to that primal instinct, the one that tells you when it's time to go. In the quiet heart of a remote canyon, the host of Rugged Road Explorers follows the stone where it speaks, not in words, but in symbols. Spirals, lines, a lone figure. A language left behind by the Fremont people. A mile from here, he once found a ring of stones aligned with the sun, an ancient observatory. Now, standing before a panel of glyphs, he wonders if they're part of the same system, a code, waiting to be read.
And I believe that this glyph is part of that system. A message, a coded message. But can we figure it out?
I'm out for a hike, and I'm just checking out walking around the base of these canyons. Always before I've been coming in from the top, but I thought I would try this, and it seems pretty cool because right here is a ruin, and it looks like there's another one back over here. So we'll check them out, and oh, can't believe how easy this is. So it looks like to get up to this one, I've got to go up this.
This time he approaches from the canyon floor instead of the rim above. Not far in, he spots a ruin tucked into the cliff. A log leaning against the stone acts as a makeshift ladder.
Yeah, a little greenery.
Climbing up, he finds two ancient structures, a dwelling, perhaps even a granary. A shallow basin carved into the rock suggests food once stored here. Fallen stone shows how the cliff has shifted over time. The walls, once stretching outward, now lie broken at his feet. But the real discovery is older still. A pictograph painted in red, a snake, curved and flowing.
First spiral sun symbol here. You've got some kind of a mark there, but it's really hard to make out what it is. But let's start with this picture. Got the first large sun spiral here. You have a small one here. And then we have a cave, or what looks like a cave. And then coming out of the top of it is a straight line, and it's got a circle, and the line, you know what that looks like? It looks like an atoll. One of those throwing darts that they used to use, stuck into the top of that. Huh. Anyways, let's keep going. And then you have a person, and then you have another spiral sun, and another spiral sun, but then right above it, you have that small cave symbol again. And then over here, we have this symbol here, and I'm just trying to figure it out.
Grinding stones smoothed by years of use still sit in place. Blackened ceilings show where fires once burned through the winter. In one chamber, 2 cylindrical holes are drilled deep into the rock, their purpose unclear. Food prep? Tools? Ritual? Nobody knows for sure.
We'll get up through there. Just heading back, and then this is the last dwelling right here, and then I noticed down here, you've got these 2 holes that look almost drilled. Not sure what they would have been used for. Maybe put stuff in there and grind it down. Interesting. And then you've got those, those grinding areas in the stones there too.
On a previous climb above this very canyon, he found 2 remarkable things: a hidden burial site and an arrangement of stones forming what looked like an astronomical observation point. If true, it would be the first ever documented in Fremont history, and suddenly, the spirals and figures below take on new meaning.
2 spirals, perhaps marking the sun's path across the seasons. But this third spiral, this one may be different. It could represent the observatory, the place where they track the sky itself. In the Fremont culture, the cave represents the afterlife, transition, or a portal between worlds. This isn't just a cave, it's a doorway to the underworld, or maybe something beyond. A line rising from the cave, a spirit's path, or maybe a message to look above. And then we have this figure. This figure stands or floats between the cave and the sky. A shaman? Is it a spirit? Or the one who read the signs carved here long before we came? After studying the petroglyph and digging through what little is known about the symbols like these, I started putting the pieces together. Search higher, but where? I decided to climb the nearby mountains, and what I found up there changed everything. A burial site hidden at the summit, a first. But beyond that, an astronomical site built into the stone, a possible observatory, and the
cave, not just a cave, but a doorway, the underworld, or a portal between realms. Taken together, the site stops being just rock art. It becomes a map of how these people saw existence itself. The cycles of the sun, the movement of the heavens, the transition between life and death. The stone wasn't just their canvas, it was their language. A message carved to endure generations, still echoing, long after the voices that first spoke it are gone. The Hogat Project is all about chasing the unseen. Jake Travis and his brother Spike spend nights in forgotten places, half adventure, half hunt for proof that the world isn't as empty as it looks. On this trip, they camp on the edge of an abandoned coal mining town, a place left behind decades ago, swallowed by the forest, stripped down to ruins. At first, it's just a quiet evening by the fire. Stories, laughter, the kind of calm you only get miles from anyone else. But as the hours pass, the mood shifts. The stillness grows heavy, too heavy, so they leave the firelight behind. Flashlights in hand, they set out into the ruins, determined to stir something up, to test the stories whispered about these woods. The deeper they go, the stranger it feels. The air carries a sour, earthy smell like swamp gas, sharp enough to catch in the throat. It hangs there, wrong, as though something large had just passed through.
I think your light's getting dimmer.
Well, we'll just have to stop if it goes out completely.
Yeah, wait for sun up.
Both men feel it, the sense of eyes in the dark. They stop and call out.
Really nasty.
Like a swamp smell?
The smell would came from up here.
It's like cabbage. Is there anybody by the water? Is there a Bigfoot here? If there is a Sasquatch, let it be known.
A knock close enough to freeze them in place. The air seems to drop 10 degrees in an instant. Instinct kicks in the primal chill that says, you are not alone, and you're not safe here. They press on, asking more questions, but the response is the same. That heavy, unnatural stillness. The occasional knock, like something toying with them just out of reach.
Who goes there? Where are you from? What year is it? What is your job? Which part? A rock thump?
Yeah.
What is your job?
Finally, the realization settles in, they're not welcome here. Adrenaline drives them back through the forest. The fire at camp offers little comfort. They sit in silence, the weight of what just happened pressing harder than the night itself. Later, looking over the footage, they couldn't name what it was, but they agreed on one thing. Whatever answered them in those ruins, it wasn't natural, and it wasn't alone. Katie usually posts calm, solo camping trips, forests, rivers, quiet mornings in her van. But one night, that calm cracked wide open. Earlier in the day, she'd met a couple by the river. They said they'd lost a ring. She offered to exchange numbers in case she found it. They refused 3 separate times. Instead, they told her to just hide the ring somewhere nearby. Odd, but not alarming. At least not yet.
O'clock in the morning, and I just had the scariest thing ever happen, and I should have gone with my gut on this. This kid. I'm so confused right now. This kid and his girlfriend were next to me at the river earlier. They seemed harmless. They were probably like in their mid to late 20s, and they didn't say anything to me at all the entire time I was next to them, and then all of a sudden they lost this ring, and the guy kept coming back, like hiking all the way back to where I was, like 3 different times. And so I was helping him look for this ring, and I asked him, like, hey, do you want me to take down your number? I'm gonna be here just in case I find the ring. And I asked him this like 3 times, and he kept saying no, and like insisted that I hide it somewhere random, which seemed so weird because the ring seemed sentimental, and I just had this that something was off. And then 2 hours later, he texts me, hey Katie, thanks for helping us earlier. Do you want me to, can we come over later to your campsite and have drink?
Hours later, after midnight, Katie jolted awake to a sound outside her van. She looked out and froze. A man was standing in the dark, no flashlight, no call for help, just standing there, trying the handle of her truck cab. It was the same man from the river.
And then just now, this I literally wake up like, I just hear somebody out. I'm in the woods by myself camping. I hear somebody outside of my truck just creeping around, and I like jolt up. Usually when I hear things like this, it's nothing. And I look out, there's a figure of a man outside of my window in the woods, and he doesn't have a light on. He's not saying anything. I just hear him trying to get into the cab of my truck. And I was like, hey, what the are you doing? And he's like, is this Katie? I fell in the river. I need a towel. Why didn't you say anything? Why am I waking up to hearing you creeping around my truck in the pitch black without making yourself known? And he just ran. He like ran away. Sorry, and ran away. Sorry? You weren't trying to, no, you're sorry you got caught.
When she shouted at him, he stammered that he had fallen into the river and needed a towel. But his story didn't hold. If he needed help, why creep silently around someone's van instead of knocking? Katie pressed him, and his excuses unraveled fast. First, he said he got her number off the back of her van. Then it was from Instagram. Then he claimed he'd fallen off a cliff, broken ribs, and somehow still texted her from the trail. None of it made sense. The trail he mentioned, Willow Cove, was 6 miles from her camp, and by the time she found him outside, hours had already passed.
I am like coming off of an adrenaline rush right now, so hang on, bear with me. Basically what happened, you want to know the whole detail, go back to my last video. He did end up texting me back like 10 minutes after I posted the first video and said that the only reason he was standing outside of my truck is because he had fallen down a cliff and fallen into the water and broken ribs, and he needed my help. This is bullshit. This man was not trying to get my attention in any way, shape, or form. He was standing out in the dark, fiddling around. The only reason I heard him is because I just happened to hear something and then jolt up and then see him standing out, staring through my window in the dark. If he needed help, he would have made himself known. That is not true. When the cops showed up, I explained the situation and I said, you guys are the local police. Did you guys get a call that a man fell off a cliff in the middle of the night and was injured and was in an ambulance on the way to the hospital? He said, no, we did not. And we would know. We're linked up with the EMS, where the cops and the EMS are a team. We would know if somebody fell off a cliff.
She called the police. When officers arrived, they confirmed what she already suspected. No emergency calls, no ambulance dispatches, no injured hiker. His story wasn't just shaky, it was a lie. Katie filed an official report before leaving the area for good. She didn't have to use the protection she carried in her van, but the message was clear. This wasn't confusion, and it wasn't a coincidence.
Where the cops and the EMS are a team, we would know if somebody fell off a cliff. So that was a lie. He also went on to say that he was hiking a place called Willow Cove. He said that he was doing that at 10 o'clock at night for a moonlight hike that he wanted me to come with him on. If he was hiking, I looked up the hike, it's 0.6 miles. He was outside of my camper at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get in. Okay, that's 6 hours later. Also, Willow Cove is 6 miles from where I was parked camping. If he was hiking Willow Cove, and that's true, he would not have been outside of my camper 6 miles down the road.
The refusal to share contact info. The silent appearance outside her van at 2 a.m. The twisting stories. Every piece pointed to intent. And that leaves the unsettling question. If she hadn't woken up when she did, what would have happened next? Franco has built a reputation for diving headfirst into haunted places most people wouldn't step foot in. Cemeteries, abandoned hospitals, forgotten ruins. He's been there, alone, with only a camera and his nerves holding him together. But his return to the Girona Cemetery in Chile may be one of his most unsettling investigations yet.
This is the cemetery that I was at the last time, where it started pouring rain, but I was hearing loud bangs, screams, and what sounded like a crying woman continuously throughout the graveyard. This is the statue dedicated to the Llorona. Basically, she is the weeping woman throughout this whole cemetery, especially from where I'm standing, because right here, underground, like about 6 feet, there's thousands upon thousands of unknown bodies for the people who passed away during a very major earthquake in Chile. This is the statue of Llorona. This is the one that people supposedly say they hear crying throughout the whole cemetery through the graveyard of Chile here. And it's creepy because I've seen what looked like something staring at me from another tomb up here.
This isn't just another graveyard. Beneath these grounds lie thousands of unidentified victims from a devastating earthquake. No names, no proper burials, just mass graves and a local legend that the cries of La Llorona, the weeping woman, echo through the night.
I am now using my SLS camera just to see if I could pick up anything. Now that right there is my actual small night vision camera. And this is what you should morally see if there's anything that is anything kind of pop up. You know what I mean? While I'm recording. So let's see if I pick anything up here. Is there anyone here that can talk with me? Give me a sign that it's okay for me to be here. Are you welcoming? So I'm walking with the SLS camera and I'm already picking something up. It looks like something was laying down right here. See it? Right on top of the front of the tomb here. Oh, look at that. It's like it's just crouched, just sitting there with the legs just sticking out. And the thing is that this is not going just for anything, see? Nothing else is doing it, but when I look right here, see it? Hello? What's your name? You seem to just be chilling right now. It is literally just sitting right here on top.
As Franco begins his nighttime walkthrough, the cemetery feels alive. Cold air presses down, the silence is heavy, and his equipment starts picking up strange figures. On his SLS camera, a crouched shape appears on top of a tomb, limbs stretched out like it's lounging there. When he turns back a second later, it's gone. Then the voices start.
A sign that I'm not alone. Llorona, Llorona. What the hell is that? Listen. Oh my god, these stupid birds. Oh, I picked something up. I hear what sounds like a screaming. Something's standing right there. But that's not what I heard. I heard a screaming. I've now switched to my thermal imaging camera and I am doing a thermal sweep of the location right now after hearing the creepy screams, which I don't know what's coming from what. I don't want to say it's the Llorona, only because I heard a man's voice too in the distance. I'm using a filter called Black Hot, so whatever's black is hot.
Screams in the distance, some sharp like a woman's cry, others guttural, unmistakably male. His thermal camera shows nothing. No people, no animals. Just sound where no source exists.
It was one of these tombs. That one right over there. What the is that? Hola? Not. Oh, oh my god, sorry. Everything's scaring me. I thought that was a person right there. I haven't even made it to the tomb, and I'm hearing what sounds like a kid. Niño?
He keeps pushing deeper. A faint bell rings, branches shift, animals outside the gates begin crying out, agitated for no reason. Near a mausoleum, he hears something worse, the thin, fragile sound of a child sobbing. It's brief, but impossible to mistake. Franco's voice shakes as he calls out, "Niño?" Silence answers back. The night builds to a breaking point. Scanning with night vision, Franco spots it, someone or something, cloaked in black, sitting motionless behind a row of tombs. The figure stays perfectly still. When he flicks on his flashlight, it vanishes. The second he cuts the light, it's back again, in a different spot.
And I see somebody back there. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. Look. I think that's somebody, right? Let me turn on my flashlight. Oh, what the? They're dressed up in black. See it? This camera's not focusing at all. Hold on. There you go.
If you're still watching, comment the hidden word sinister.
There's somebody back there dressed up in black.
Watching. For minutes it lingers in his camera's view, unmoving, refusing to reveal itself. Squatter? Security guard? Something else entirely? Franco doesn't get an answer. He leaves the cemetery shaken, muttering about the screams, the sightings, the constant feeling of eyes on him. And like most of his investigations, he doesn't end with certainty, only with dread.